Alright, YouTube viewers, this is my part 2 of my electric kiln conversion to gas powered downdraft or gas burning downdraft kiln. My next part is how I cut my holes in. I just used my little Dremel tool, cut the opening or cut the metal off, and then I used my sheetrock saw to punch through and cut my actual opening through the soft brick, which actually cuts really easy. Next, I went on the other side and did the same thing with my Dremel tool. Let me come down here, I'll set my camera up. Got my Dremel tool and cut this opening, and then I cut my soft brick opening as well. And as you can see, it's just less than my brick size. So if I took a hard brick, it's setting just up one bit. So by the time I'll go into more detail about how and why I did that just a little bit. So I took my scraps from that and I just bolted them back in with some self-tapping screws. Got it so it was secure again. So my next step was to come up with a flue design. So my flue design will be this, where I'm going to put a hard fire brick down on the base, and then I got these shells for a pretty good deal from a local ceramic store. And what I'm going to do is cut my shelf to the height, well, it's actually to the width that I'm looking for. You know, it's going to be the width of the brick, and then cut my opening at the base, and then I'm going to put one right against it like that, and then on the other side, I'll go from the top view. I'm going to put my shelf on like that, and I'll cut another one to this width as well. And then I'll do the same thing for the sides this way, the sides that way. And then I plan on taking some metal and strapping it around this side all the way to this side, and then screwing it in so it makes it nice and secure. Probably do about 4 or 5 straps going up from top to bottom. So that covers me on my flue, and it covers me on how I'm going to get the gas going in, or the burner, into the kiln. This kiln is a 2.6 cubic foot kiln. And then obviously, how do I cut the shelves? Well, that I came up with. I just went to the local hardwood store, and I got myself, let me look at this, just a diamond ceramic blade that'll help me cut through that. And I've actually already cut one shelf, and did pretty good. Just takes a couple of seconds to get it through. But you stay on it and make sure you do it outside, because there's a lot of dust that gets formed. But a lot of people do upward draft kilns, and I just chose to do a downward draft kiln. So one, my heat doesn't get wasted that gets into the kiln, and also so I can do more reduction on the pieces. But if you were just going to do an updraft kiln, which would be a heck of a lot easier because you don't have to worry about the flue on this side, you would just leave it intact, and then you would just cut one opening for your burner, and then cut an opening here at the top piece of your kiln, and then that would just allow the heat to go in, and then rise up through the kiln and come out your hole. And then I've seen people slide the bricks or whatever back and forth over the hole to kind of help the heat or keep the heat in. But again, I wanted more reduction, so that's why I needed to build a flue for it. But I'm thinking pretty much everything that I've had right now. Off of Simon Leach's design, he recommended to put some sort of brick when your base is in some sort of design to help as the flame comes in, that it doesn't just go in and go straight out the flue. You got to direct the flame around the kiln, and you can direct it up the sides by making some little 45-degree pieces, which I plan on doing on each of the sides. So I'm going to put one brick there and one brick there, and then leave the center open. Maybe put a little thin piece in there to help get the air moving around in the kiln, or get the flame moving around in the kiln, trying to get it to shoot up the sides, and then obviously to come back down and go out the flue and then come up. But I will, once I get that all done, I'm gonna plan on posting another video out there, and hopefully before I do that, I'm gonna post another video on how to patch, or what I saw or read about how patching the inside of the kiln. So stay tuned.